Greetings. It is me, Agigi, here with a new series called Budget Metal. Here we explore budget options to Djent, Thall, death metal, and other things like that. I know that probably the most budget thing you could do is buy plugins, but personally I like to use amplifiers and pedals because I record on GarageBand iOS on my iPad. Today we are looking at a new instrument I created. It is created from an Ibanez Mikro 5 bass with the 28.6-inch scale. I thought this would be amazing for a 7-string guitar. The first thing that I do when I created this, I put masking tape around the original bass bridge, and then I used a pen to mark off where the saddles were, so I'd have an idea where the intonation would be. The next step was to remove the bridge and grab my 7-string guitar bridge, which is a string-through bridge, and approximate where they should be placed. When I did that, I made sure that the lowest saddle and the highest saddle matched up with where the original bass saddles were to give me an approximate guess where the intonation would be. My next step was to drill to actually hold the bridge in place, and also I had to drill through the body to make room for where the strings would go through. With the bridge complete, I now moved on to the tuning keys. I removed the old bass tuning keys and filled the space with dowels. Unfortunately, the dowels I ordered were not the right size, so I had to hand carve my own, which added a lot more labor to this project than I would have liked. I also glued in a 7-string guitar nut. I left those to dry overnight, and the next day, I brought my guitar tuning keys and my drill, and I re-drilled the holes of where I wanted them to be. I did mark them off and measure them, but I'm not very good with the drill, and I tend to mismatch it a lot. Using an old string, I measured where I'd want the strings to line up with the bridge and the tuning keys, and I marked them on the masking tape. I then used a multi-tool with the oscillating blade function to remove the excess wood so I could make room for the guitar bridge. This also takes a little bit of time, especially to chisel it flat towards the end. After soldering the guitar pickup and creating a pickup out of excess plastic I had laying around, it was now time to string up, intonate, and to raise and lower the pickup to make sure that it was at the height that I prefer my pickups to be. Anyway, enough hearing me ramble. Let's hear what it sounds like when I play through my PV Valve King. First, I'll play with no backing track whatsoever so you can hear the raw tone. Secondly, I will play with a backing track in the mix.